To manifest your desires with a speed and ease you have perhaps never known before, there is one simple yet profound shift you must make. Everything begins with the way you speak to yourself. Words are never empty. Thoughts are never harmless. Feelings are never silent. They are the very substance from which your world is formed. What you think of yourself, what you say to yourself, and what you repeatedly feel about yourself become the conditions of your experience. If you desire to accelerate your manifestations tenfold, then you must learn to address yourself in the language of fulfillment, abundance, and success. Understand this. The universe is always answering. It does not respond to your wishes alone, nor to your complaints, nor even to your outward posture. It responds to the state you occupy. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your inner speech carry a vibration, and that vibration becomes the signal by which your world arranges itself around you. Words are not merely instruments of communication. They are instruments of creation. The things you say about yourself, to yourself, and through yourself are painting the design of your life even now. So if your manifestations are delayed, blocked, or moving more slowly than you desire, the first place to look is not outside yourself. It is in the story you are telling yourself every day. Listen carefully to the words that pass through your mind when you are not guarding them. When you feel discouraged, you may say, "I never get what I want." You may whisper, "This is too difficult," or "I am not enough," or "People like me do not get that kind of life." But every such statement is a declaration. Every such thought is an agreement. Every such feeling is a seed planted in the soil of consciousness. And what do seeds do? They reproduce after their own kind. When you continually rehearse lack, limitation, and struggle, you are not describing reality. You are authoring it. But what if you could begin to speak differently? What if you could train your inner speech to reflect not your present fear, but your desired end? What if your self-talk could become a sacred act of assumption, a deliberate entering into the state of the wish fulfilled? You can do this. And when you do, you will discover that manifestation does not merely become easier, it becomes natural. This is the great secret Neville Goddard taught in his own way. Live in the end. Do not speak from longing. Do not speak from absence. Do not speak as one waiting for life to begin. Speak as one who already dwells in the fulfillment of the promise. Let your inner conversation come from the state of having, not hoping, from completion, not craving, from certainty, not uncertainty. When you speak to yourself, let your words rise from the assumption that the thing desired is already yours. Feel the reality of it. Let the emotions of completion, gratitude, and quiet joy flow through you as though you are already standing in the fulfillment of your desire. Speak with the authority of one who knows. Speak with the calm confidence of one who has already received. For example, instead of saying, "I hope I get the job," say, "I am deeply grateful for this wonderful job that is already mine." Instead of saying, "I will be successful," say, "I am successful now." Instead of saying, "I wish I were loved," say, "I am loved, cherished, and valued." Notice the difference. One speaks from distance, the other speaks from possession. One reaches, the other rests. One waits, the other creates. At first, this may feel unfamiliar. Your old habits of doubt may resist you. The mind trained by past disappointment may question this new way of speaking. But that is no reason to stop. In truth, that is the very moment to persist. Neville taught that the persistence of assumption is what gives it life. Continue speaking from the desired state until it becomes more natural than the old state. Continue until your inner speech no longer sounds like the voice of limitation, but like the voice of identity. And do not overlook this. The manner in which you speak matters as much as the words themselves. The tone, the feeling, the inner authority behind your words All carry power. You may say the right words and still feel their opposite. Therefore, do not merely recite phrases. Infuse them with feeling. Let your words be charged with conviction. Imagine you have already received the thing you long for. Imagine the joy, the relief, the gratitude, the quiet thrill of knowing it is done. If you had just won the life you desired, how would you speak to yourself? How would your thoughts sound? They would not be anxious. They would not be desperate. They would be full of delight and certainty. Now bring that same inner atmosphere to your present desire. Speak as though it is already complete. Feel the reality of it now. This is why self-concept is so vital. What you believe yourself to be, you continuously express. If you speak of yourself as one who is wealthy, loved, confident, capable, and blessed, you gradually inhabit that identity. And as that identity becomes dominant within you, your actions begin to change without force. Your decisions become aligned. Your standards rise. Your choices reflect the state you now occupy. If you desire wealth, do not merely repeat, "I am wealthy." See yourself as wealthy. Feel the ease, the stability, the freedom, the generosity, the peace that wealth would bring. Picture the home, the lifestyle, the security, the opportunities. Let the inner picture support the words. If you desire love, do not merely say, "I am loved." Feel yourself cherished. Feel yourself held in affection. Let your inner world be one of tenderness and belonging. If you desire success, see yourself already moving in that success, already wearing it as your natural garment. Neville understood the imaginal act as the creative act. So when you speak to yourself, do not speak mechanically, speak imaginatively. Hear the words as though they are spoken by the fulfilled version of you. See the scene of completion. Feel the atmosphere of attainment. The union of word, feeling, and imaginal vision is what awakens the creative power within you. Your inner dialogue, especially when you are alone, is one of the most powerful forces in your life. Many people speak well in front of others, yet in solitude they return to self-criticism, fear, and defeat. But the true work is done where no one sees. It is done in the secret chamber of the mind. When no one is present, your self-talk reveals what state you truly occupy. So catch yourself lovingly whenever you fall into old patterns. If you hear yourself saying, "I cannot do this," replace it immediately with, "I am more than capable." If you say, "I do not have enough money," answer with, "My supply is constant and my abundance is increasing." If you think it is too late, correct it with, "Everything is unfolding in perfect timing." Do not entertain thoughts that oppose your desire. Return again and again to the end you seek. What you focus on expands. What you repeatedly endorse grows stronger in your consciousness. When you give your attention to your desire with love, certainty, and enthusiasm, you draw yourself into harmony with it. The energy behind your words becomes magnetic. It reaches into the invisible and calls forth what matches it. Affirmations can be powerful, but only when they are alive with feeling. Words alone, spoken without conviction, are little more than noise. But when you say, "I am prosperous," and feel prosperity already moving through you, the affirmation becomes creative. When you say, "I am beloved," and your heart softens in the feeling of being loved, the affirmation takes root. When you say, "I am fulfilled," and your whole being rests in that fulfillment, then you are no longer pretending. You are assuming the state. Do not make your affirmations dry. Make them sacred. Let them come from the depths of conviction. Close your eyes if necessary. Breathe slowly. Enter the feeling of the thing desired already realized. Speak the words from that place. Then let them live in you. The more sincerely you do this, the more your outer world will begin to conform. At the same time, you must release the burden of how and when. One of the greatest obstacles to manifestation is the human urge to control the path of fulfillment. You ask for the desire, but then you begin to interrogate the process. How will it come? When will it come? Through whom will it come? And by demanding to know the route, you often block the arrival. Instead, trust the intelligence that animates all things. Trust that the unseen order knows how to deliver what you have already claimed in imagination. Your task is not to dictate the mechanism. Your task is to occupy the state. Speak as though everything is already moving in your favor, even before visible proof appears. Trust that the bridge of incidents is forming itself in ways you cannot yet predict. Gratitude is another great key. Speak gratitude not as a performance, but as recognition. Speak as though the blessing is already yours, as though the gift is already in your hands. Gratitude softens resistance. It opens the heart. It creates receptivity. When you say thank you and truly feel the meaning of that thank you, you align yourself with abundance. Consistency, too, is essential. Do not speak this way for a single inspired day and then return to the old language of doubt. Make it your daily habit. Make it your inner atmosphere. Let your self-talk become a practice, then a pattern, then a way of being. Speak it in the morning. Speak it during the day. Speak it in moments of silence. Speak it when you walk, when you work, when you wait, when you rest. The more faithfully you return to the chosen state, the more natural it becomes. And believe this, the world around you will begin to respond, not because you coerced it, but because you changed. Your conception of self changed, your inner speech changed, your feeling changed. And when the inner world changes, the outer world must eventually echo it. Do not underestimate the power of what you say in your mind. Inner speech is not less real than spoken speech. The subconscious hears both. The invisible receives both. The state you habitually inhabit is being impressed upon the creative field continuously. If you desire a new career, let your inner dialogue sound like success already accomplished. If you desire a loving relationship, let your inner dialogue sound like the voice of one already cherished. If you desire financial freedom, let your inner dialogue sound like the voice of one who knows abundance as a natural condition. And speak to others from the end as well. When you discuss your life, do not speak from delay and deficiency. Speak from assurance. Speak from fulfillment. Speak as one who knows the desire is already unfolding, not in a desperate way, but in a settled, joyful way. This is not about pretending. It is about aligning your words with the reality you have chosen within. Many fail because they ask for the thing while inwardly doubting it can be theirs. Their words say one thing, but their inner state says another. There is a division within them. Yet when words, feeling, and identity all agree, manifestation is accelerated. When you say, I am abundant, and truly feel abundant, you are not speaking about a future event. You are speaking from a present state, and that state, repeated, becomes the world you live in. Do not be discouraged if the outer appearance seems unchanged for a time. Neville taught that appearances are not final authority. The outer world is always a reflection, and reflections may lag behind the source. Stay firm. Remain loyal to your chosen assumption. Do not surrender to present evidence. The seed does not appear as a tree on the day it is planted. Yet it is alive, it is working, it is becoming. In the same way, your words, when spoken from conviction, are doing their unseen work. They are sinking beneath the surface of the mind, rearranging your inner landscape, calling forth the matching conditions of life. Continue watering the seed. Continue nurturing the state. Continue thinking, feeling, and speaking from the end. And do not wait for a special moment to do this. Do not reserve it only for prayer, meditation, or quiet reflection. Bring it into your ordinary day. When you are walking, working, cooking, driving, waiting, or resting, let your inner speech remain faithful. This is how the new state becomes embodied. This is how it becomes your default.